Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is Lolo Moon, and I am here to give you your August 2nd message. So, today, Venus is at 18 degrees of Cancer, and it is sextile Mars and Uranus, which is going to kind of soften the energy for us. Everybody I talked to yesterday was like, oh my God, what is happening? The energy was so intense. I'm telling you, like, if you were not like grumpy or wanting to just lay in bed all day long or just feeling unsettled, restless, anxious, etc., I will be absolutely shocked. You are a freaking warrior because most of us were like, what is going on today? It was some intense energy. So, with this softening, with the Venus energy, I feel like it's going to feel a little easier today, okay? So I decided to do a love message since we're adding Venus to the mix. So let's kind of see what's going on. I got like all love cards, and if that's not what comes out, I'm going to laugh. So here's your oracle message today. You have trust, okay? Trust, we love that in relationships, and magical powers on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like it's really interesting because I'm getting two readings from this. So it's like trust in the magic of the universe, trust in your own power, right? But then I'm also like getting the sense that like you've manifested something in your life. And it's like, trust the process, like it may not be here yet, and to just kind of like go with the flow and allow things to unfold naturally in divine timing. But like also if you've already you've manifested it and it's already here, like just trust in the process as it unfolds for you, okay? So take all that how it resonates. These want to be shuffled again. I can just feel it. They do. So we're going to shuffle one more time. Two more times. You know, as tarot readers, we love to shuffle cards. This card wants to come out. That's the Page of Swords. Let's cut the deck. I hope everybody's doing okay. Remember, this is just a general reading. If you are looking for a personal reading, you can email me down below. I do still have my scheduler up, but just go ahead and email me. The prices are down below as well. And yeah. Okay, let's see. You have the Page of Pentacles. You have the Four of Cups. Okay. You have the Chariot card, which is the Desire card in this deck. And you have the Seven of Wands. So I'm kind of getting the sense that with this energy, there's a couple stories. There's a couple stories. So I feel a little bit like you may have felt like you had to stand up for something that you value, something that you believe, something that you want, or you have to do that with a situation in which you may have felt that there was a rejection or there's something like somebody disappointed you. Like, so yes, I don't know if it's a rejection so much as somebody disappointed you. And I feel like it's putting you in a space of like really analyzing what you desire, what you want. You're reflecting on things that you've learned. Trying to see if you can see that on the camera. Sorry, my chair squeaks. I need a new chair. Okay, you can see this on the camera. Just barely, but you can. Like, I can't tell until the cards come out. Okay. Because they're all different sizes and stuff. Anyway, so it's put you in a space of like sort of analyzing. And I'm looking down at the butterflies and this Page of Coins here, Page of Pentacles, and this Phoenix right here. And I feel like you've done a lot of like evolving, a lot of learning lessons, a lot of growing, etc. And I feel like because of that, you kind of maybe know what you want. And that's where this magical powers comes in. Like you're manifesting something that you really want or you have. Justice. And it's, yeah, and it's like it comes to you. It comes to you, but I get the sense that it comes to you and you're like, I don't really know. I don't really know is what I'm getting. I'm getting this energy of I don't really know. Like, I need to reflect on it. I need to look at the things that I've learned, the things that I value, what I desire. I feel like I need to, like, defend that. And I don't want to be disappointed. And I don't want to be disappointed, damn it. Okay, I don't know why. I just can't get this right today. So I'm going to do this. Okay. All right, we're going to do some clarifying. 4 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. I feel like this situation, like you're needing to kind of calm your mind a little bit. Calm your mind, meditate, do some reflecting. Something is in my throat today. Don't react. I feel like you feel like you need to kind of stand up and fight for what you want. Because look at this phoenix, look at that dragon. Like you are ready. Like you are a powerful force. You are ready to stand up and fight for what you want. And sometimes it's really about just letting things be. Letting things be what they are. Because it looks like, okay, so if this is somebody you're not, okay, there's so many freaking stories coming at me right now. It's overwhelming. So if this is somebody you're not in contact with, you're supposed to be like trusting the process and really reflecting on your values, what you desire, what you've learned, you know, and how you're needing to kind of defend that. Like you're needing to stand up in your power and saying, this is what I know that I deserve and I want and I value, and be this powerful phoenix force, right? Because you may not have done that in the past. You may have let people walk all over you and it just killed your spirit. And so you're needing to kind of trust the process as things unfold in this situation. If you are with this person, I feel like you could be measuring, like you're measuring things up. I'm looking, like normally the 4 of Cups, there's 3 cups and then 1 cup. But in this, it's like there's a measurement that's happening. Like you're measuring things up against like what you've learned, what you've discovered that you value, standing in your power, knowing that, you know, you don't want to have to go back to the ashes, go back to the period that you were in before the death, you know, before the phoenix is like completely obliterated, right? Like just turns into ash, right? And then rises up as a whole new bird, like just a whole new being, very powerful force. Look at all these butterflies. And I feel like you're reflecting on that. They're very similar energies. I think that I think that the butterfly is like a natural part of the process, and the phoenix is just more mystical, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. They're very similar in their transformational processes, but the phoenix is like killed, like, you know, it's a visceral thing that happens. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen with the butterfly. It just seems like, for whatever reason, I just look at the butterfly and I feel like it's more gentle than what the phoenix goes through, even though it's almost the same thing. Yeah. Anyway, so enough of that. Let's move on from that. So, but I'm looking at these energies, all these butterflies and this, and you're just like, I've done so much to get past that point, and I don't want to go back to that. Yeah, that's the point. You don't want to go back to that. And so you're weighing things out because you don't want to be disappointed. And I think that with this justice energy, you know that all actions have consequences, whether they're positive or negative consequences, all behaviors, all words, everything has a consequence. Whatever you do has a consequence. And I feel like you know that. And so you're in this space right now where you're like trying to measure out desire with logic. You know, like with what makes sense. Sometimes things just don't make sense. I don't know. Like, I will definitely be like, make it make sense. I'll be one of those people that says that. And then, but then there's some situations it just doesn't apply. You can't make it make sense. Okay. The Page of Pentacles. You have the Emperor, the Star, the Six of Wands, and the Five of Cups that just came out, with the Hierophant and the King of Cups. That's a big message for one card. But I think that that's the point. It's like, this is what you've learned. You've done a lot of healing. You've been very successful in that regard. You've learned how to take the power back in your own life. I don't think you can see these cards down here. You've learned to take the power in your own life. And I feel like you don't want to go back to that point of grievance, of loss, of disappointment, despair. And so you really are, the Four of Cups is right in the center of your reading. You are measuring things up. And I feel like if you're not in contact with this person right now, you could be measuring these things up to finally step into this Emperor power and allow yourself to really heal from this situation. Because you're realizing that you do not want to have to pay the negative consequences anymore for this disappointment. Even if you just absolutely just love and adore somebody with that King of Cups, I feel like you're ready. I feel like you're ready for things to be smooth. You're ready for it to be like this, like an embrace that is just connective and lovely. And for it to also make sense. And that's why you're measuring all this out. It's a lot that's going on inside of you right now. I just have to be really honest. Like, it's a lot that's happening within you, and it really does seem to be rooted in this powerful force. Oh my God, you have the Seven of Wands and the Nine of Wands. It's this, when you're in Seven of Wands energy, you are in this spot of like, I choose me. I love and value me so much that it doesn't matter what happens with anybody else, what they have to say, what they think, whatever. I am going to stand my ground and I am going to choose me. That's what the Seven of Wands does, okay? But like, you can do that from a wounded space or a healed space with that Nine of Wands. You know, like some people will stand their ground with the Seven of Wands and they will fight to the bitter end. And they will do that from a wounded space, from a protective space, from a, I have to protect my heart at all cost. Or it can be from a, I know what I deserve and I'm going to protect that at all cost. And that could be why you're needing to trust the process. Because I feel like you know that you don't want to do things from a wounded space anymore. You want to do things from a healed space. And that could be the thing that needs to make sense to you right now. But then desire gets in the mix. And it kind of muddies things up. Because it's like, you know, desire has a mind of its own. And I think that you've learned a lot of really valuable lessons in your life right here. And you've learned how to stand in this power. And you don't want to go back to this space of despair and disappointment. Which, it's not always avoidable, to be really honest with you. It's just not. But I think that you love and value yourself enough to know that you're going to stand your ground when it's important. When it's important, you're going to stand your ground. trying to see if there's anything else that really needs to be said about this. Because this Ace of Pentacles, I feel like, oh my gosh, you have 777. So if that means anything to anybody, you know, then this is your reading, 777. But I feel like you just want it to be stable. You have this pentacle right here. You want it to be stable. And it seems to be like you want it to be stable in a way that it logically makes sense. And you also know that, you know, you're in your power, but you're also in this comfortable embrace. Like it's like it needs to have a sort of balance to it, because there are some relationships, some connections, it's all desire, it's all intensity and attachment wounds, and, you know, just feeling like you need each other and you're consumed with each other. And then there are other situations where people are too logical, like it, you know, well, it needs to make sense for me financially because it needs to support my financial future, etc., etc. And people don't really pay attention to the emotional aspect, the embrace, the connection, and all of that. And it's like it needs to have a balanced, stable energy for you. And if it doesn't, I feel like you reflect on what you've learned, what you've gone through, how you've overcome certain things in your life, and how, you know, and then you're measuring whatever you're dealing with up against that. Or if this is somebody you're not in contact with, you're taking a look at the situation and you're maybe seeing all the cracks in the foundation, and you're standing your ground now and you're allowing the healing to commence, because you know that this is a pathway to continuous disappointment. But either way, it's like you're needing to trust the process. It says, I am safe, I am secure, in love I trust, my faith endures. Y'all don't hate me for this reading. Okay, I just did a little shuffling and ended up back on the Four of Swords again, so I think it wanted to come out. I'm going to pull these Kipper cards real fast. Final messages do you have about this situation? Courtship. With Thief on the bottom of the deck. I almost didn't want to put that card out. Okay. Alright, guys. Hold on, let me get this card. I don't know if you saw my hair or not. It's all up in a bun. Anyway, so here's what you got, guys, as your closing message. And I think that that's why, like, this reading was kind of all over the place. It's because you have courtship and you have coffin, then you have lovers and privileged lady right here. So to me, it's like there really is this toss up between it, like something just being over for you or for something to evolve for you. It does look like it's a 50-50 kind of reading. The good news is sudden wealth is on the bottom of the deck. I feel like with the coffin energy, to me, this is how you're showing up, by the way. And this just goes right in line with what I was saying with this Phoenix energy, like not wanting to go back to that point. The person that you were before the death and the rebirth that you experienced. Like you don't want to end up back in that same dynamic or that same, just being that same person, however that shows up for you. So like, for instance, I was just talking to a friend this morning about like when you sacrifice like your friendships and you sacrifice your dreams and your goals to be in a relationship, and then you put them first, right? And then like you get to a point where, and it's so interesting, the number 12 is the Hanged Man, sacrifice. That's so trippy. Anyway, so I love tarot. Okay, I want to get to that one in just a second. I'm going to put this right here. So anyway, and now it's like, now you kind of, like with this privileged lady, it's very Nine of Pentacles to me. Like, it's very much like standing your ground in your worth and your value, and knowing that like you want to push forward in your life in a way that's rooted in that, versus rooted in however you showed up before, which could have been insecurity, could have been codependency, etc. And so it looks like there's a courtship that's happening or has happened in the recent past that has kind of put you in this mindset of feeling like you need to choose either yourself. You could be choosing your finances over a person, because you have the Lover's card. That's the card of the choice. And right in the center here is the privileged lady. It's like, you know, you kind of being like, I love and value myself so much that I know that I don't want to go back to whatever this was before this death and rebirth. And I know that I have a choice. And I feel like for some of you, if you're not dealing with this person, my dog is going nuts so outside. If you're not dealing with this person, or you're not in contact with this person right now, you could be awaiting this courtship, right? Like, you're wanting to rekindle things. But then there's also part of you that's like the Seven of Wands, you know, like you're starting to realize that what you allowed to happen before the death and rebirth is simply unacceptable to you now. It does not align with who you are now and the frequency that you vibrate at now. Like, it just doesn't serve you. And then you have the message on the bottom of the deck, and it's kind of like, it's like this shift sort of happens with you, and then you may receive a message from this person, which I do believe that's the way that it always works. As soon as you let go of something, it appears. And I tell this to people all the time. I'm like, if you just let go of it, it'll probably come in your life. But anyway, so but I do feel like you have a choice in whether or not you're going to entertain that, or if you're going to continue to choose yourself. Okay, it basically is like, if this evolves, then you can. But if it doesn't look like it's a situation that can evolve, then you're needing to trust the process and let it go and see if it works out in divine timing. Or if you choose to, you know, engage in this, then kind of trust the process as it unfolds, and see if it ends up turning out to be something that you now know that you deserve, and isn't going to, and hopefully isn't going to disappoint you. But the good news is, this is the good news for me, is the sudden wealth. It's like, and do you see that? It says 777. And I feel like that could be another aspect to all of this, is really asking yourself, like, if you are dealing with a situation that you might potentially put before your own success. And if you're willing to do that, you know, I mean, this was at the bottom of the deck. Remember the Seven of Wands. And you were showing up in a very much like, I'm going to stand my ground energy. And you can do that from a wounded place in protecting your heart and not trusting the process. Or you can do that from a place where you've really reflected and you've weighed out all the options and you've considered, am I on a pathway to being the person that I once was in a connection, or allowing things to unfold in a way that made me feel awful and is now unacceptable to me? You know, and am I going to stand my ground and say, I just simply deserve better, and it's really truly that simple. You know what I mean? So I feel like this energy for you, I hope that made sense. The Seven of Wands energy for you is a very reflective energy in how you stand your ground and how you allow things to unfold, and while also simultaneously asking yourself if you're just being overprotective of your heart and not trusting the process. I know nobody ever wants to hear this when I tell them to do some journaling and really reflect on where you're coming from. Where are you coming from? Why are you in the Seven of Wands energy? Is it coming from a place of knowing your value? Is it coming from a place of self-protection? Where is it coming from? I'm going to do one more card just because it makes sense. Journey. Journey with imprisonment on the bottom of the deck. You want to be free, my little butterfly phoenix. You want to be free. And I feel like what sets you free is not necessarily liberating yourself from another person, unless that person has continuously rejected and disappointed you with that Four of Cups, and you are liberating yourself because you know you deserve better than what they did to you, or what you allowed. I feel like the freedom for you could be in how you may overprotect yourself and how you feel like you need to lock things down to do so. It really is going to be different for every person. But I do feel like the journey for you right now in this freedom from either the imprisonment of your mind or a bad situation starts with the self-reflection that we saw at the beginning of the reading. It's like really taking that time to journal and reflect on, why do I operate? Why am I operating out of Seven of Wands? What am I defending myself against? Is it a real threat or is it a perceived threat? You know what I mean? So that's what I have for you guys today. What a reading. So yeah, please be sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And also, again, if you are looking excuse me, for a personal session, you can do so down below. We are closing with the Temperance card and the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles. I love it. I just love it because to me it's like you do end up finding the balance. You really do. I just feel like you need to self-reflect first. So that's what I have for you. Have a good day. Bye.